British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is urging Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland to join efforts and support his Brexit agenda to add pressure on the EU. Here's One America's Kristian Rouz.
There's no point in coming out of the EU if you're going to end up being run by the EU.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson rallies his political allies all across the UK as his cabinet is adding pressure on the EU for a better Brexit deal. Talking to reporters at the naval base in Faslane, Scotland Monday, Johnson said a no-deal Brexit is not his main objective. But he says the UK must be fully prepared for the no deal to convince Brussels to sign a mutually beneficial accord.
We want to come out of the customs union, out of the single market to make sense of Brexit, and at the core of it all, a new free trade deal that allows us to take back control of our tariffs and our regulations and to do things differently where we want to.
The same day, the new Prime Minister held talks with the leader of Conservative Party in Scotland, a constituent country where Brexit is quite unpopular. Scotland has been ruled by the centre-left Scottish National Party, or SNP, since 2011 and voted 62 to 38% against Brexit in the 2016 referendum. But Scottish Tories, who represent a large proportion of the pro-Brexit vote, say they are on board with Johnson's agenda.
The Prime Minister has made it very clear today, both in his meeting with me and speaking to journalists like yourself, the primary objective of his government is to get a deal.
Some observers point out it may be hard for Johnson to threaten the EU with a no deal to get the deal he wants. But the Prime Minister is working with Northern Irish Unionists, Scottish Conservatives and may engage with Nigel Farage's Brexit Party to unite the nation against the bad deal that the EU insists on.
I have made it very clear to our friends, and we're talking to the Irish today, what the limits are, what we want to do. And believe me, they've now got, I think, 29 members of the Brexit Party sitting in Strasbourg, not exactly full of the ode to joy. They're not going to want that situation to continue.
Meanwhile, latest polls have revealed an unprecedented change in UK politics. According to YouGov, 31% of UK voters would vote Conservative if a general election were held tomorrow, while only 21% would favour the Labour Party. But shockingly, 20% would vote Lib Dem, which has been a minor third party for decades, while another 13% would vote for Farage's Brexit Party. While some say Johnson enjoys a greater support from the UK public than he has in Parliament, his stance against the EU is backed by another powerful friend.
UK needed him for a long time, and let's see what happens. So Boris and I just spoke. I congratulated him, and he's all set to go. He's going to be, I think he'll do a great job. We're working already on a trade agreement.
The EU has so far refused to negotiate a new deal with Johnson, but the Prime Minister is confident once a no-deal Brexit is on the table, Brussels will change its mind. As of now, Downing Street is working on a fiscal stimulus and a central bank response to get fully prepared for any Brexit outcome. Kristian Rouz, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.